So I have played a game recently, and quite a while ago as well, called Creeper World 4. This is a game I'd always recommend because it is a very smart approach to RTS and the tower defense genre. But there is quite a history to it too. What is it about? The galaxy is a dark and dangerous place. The few remaining survivors are clinging forward to their dear life, yet are always just barely able to make it. And the reason for that is Creeper. The unknown blue sea devouring all in its way. Entire civilizations fell in the past, and it hungers for more. Yeah, I tried to make it sound as cheesy as possible. The actual story is peppered through multiple games which started back in the early 2000s with Flash games. Honestly, the full Steam releases didn't go that far off from Flash, but the depth definitely went up, and the enjoyability is hence higher. So you can try looking for a Flash version first, so to see if you like that. What did I like? Well, it's personal, but I have a history with these games. I've spent many a night with them and many hours on Congregate and a few other sites. I fondly remember the dark sleepless nights as I sat there, trying to be as quiet as possible as could be to keep anyone else from waking up. As I pushed the blue swarm back, quietly celebrating to myself, so did the insomnia, and so did the anxiety quiet down for a little while longer. These games grew up with me, and so am I unable to be biased. The games themselves are focused around building a simplified version of an RTS base, with collectors adding income and every building needing to be connected, unlike something like StarCraft where you can proxy in the middle of a map and flood the opponent with marines like a filthy degenerate you are. Creeper is a faceless blue mass spawned from certain points. In early games it was about containing it and trying to escape. Later introduced a nullifier. In 4, the nullifier can be destroyed and the creeper can spawn from there again. This explanation is necessary to make it clear what I enjoy. The gameplay loop is boiled down to the bare essentials of an RTS and evolved time and time again with additional resources, new buildings, new mechanics. One of the games takes place in a 2D world, like a platformer, i.e. it's possible to physically push the creeper off cliffs, which the player can then dig. But the majority of games are isometric. 4 is the first one with 3D graphics, although essentially it's still isometric. These are the kinds of games for people who just want to turn it on, slowly build up and chug along, without thinking too much or having to stress about everything. There are more difficult levels too, but I always thought it's just not what the game is about. The gameplay offers options in this one, instead of just optimization, something I very much enjoy. Creeper behaves like a liquid, so it can be stuck behind solid walls. Terraforming is an option and sometimes necessary. Some levels offer very little terrain and can be leveled for more space. Or space platforms can be utilized. The player can blow all the creeper up, slowly going forward and spreading collectors, almost acting like the creeper himself. Or they can try utilizing shields and secure a beeline to the spawners. There are bombers which fly over everything. There is anti-creeper acting exactly how you'd expect. And there is also satellite usage which can even convert creeper. And there is always an option to make a handful of blasters and mortars and drop them directly on the cluster of creeper. A suicide run. Since the resources are infinitely generated, the only thing lost there would be time. Something the game sucks a lot of. On paper this game is extremely basic. Make a collector, build a blaster, shoot blue stuff. But it's terribly addicting and knows exactly what it wants to deliver and does so impeccably. A comparison can be drawn to something like Warframe, where the game offers the best movement system of any game ever, a plethora of characters to play and a gazillion weapons. Yet vast majority of gameplay is sitting in the same place shooting the same 3 enemies over and over and over and over. Or fishing, or mining, or flying, or using a skateboard, or boarding spaceships, or... The point is that it's a mishmash of ideas, often conflicting, with developers often not knowing what is it they even want to do. I love Warframe, of course, but it's exactly the opposite of what Creeper World is. A very simple, basic idea polished to perfection. Graphically, Creeper World 4 is not too far removed from the original games. The designs are all the same, but now with a 3D element everything looks a little awkward. Like oversized toys floating around the pool. It might turn some people away, but to me it's a little adorable. The flaws of the game would be obvious to anyone. If you want this game to be anything but a sort of survival expansion fighting against an endless swarm simulator, then you're not really looking at the right place. There's campaign, endless maps, community-generated stuff, and much, much more. And whenever people say that, it's obvious they've run out of things to say. Same here. So yeah, I love the game, always gonna keep it on my hard drive and hope more people enjoy it, but I can totally understand not want to dive into this one.